Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is currently not doing anything unexpected. Actually, it's following the roadmap even on the smaller time frame really well. We want to talk about that. This is just a quick look at the daily time frame here. Just a message again in line with previous updates that the yellow scenario appears to be leading. The yellow scenario is going to send us, well, should send us into the region here between 43 and 49k. More specifically, the 45,670 level is what I'm watching primarily. And the idea is that in this yellow scenario, a larger wave 4 is unfolding. We started this wave 4 in March. It is a complex WXY structure, WXY. And then this is an A, B, C in wave Y. And the B wave topped on Sunday, it was the 25th at 65k. This is also the level that needs to be invalidated needs to be broken to invalidate the yellow directly bearish scenario. Of course, there is a bullish scenario that could play out. Of course, the bulls can make a comeback. They can take the lead. This is currently not expected. But there are some support levels that the bulls in the white count, which is obviously the bullish scenario, some support levels they could use. Okay, and there is 54,265, 52,108. They are the next support levels that the bulls could use. Not expected, but we might see a bounce in the same way that we have seen a bounce here. That was on Wednesday the 4th. And the price here reacted also to the 50% fib level. And therefore, this is something to watch for at least. I did add this upper support area on the daily chart just to show what the levels are that the price could find some support. Whether it's the yellow count or the white count doesn't matter so much. But the idea is here, the price might give us a bounce. Whether that's a development, for something more bullish or just a small bounce. It doesn't matter so much. I just want to give you some levels to watch. But again, in the yellow count, which is currently preferred, just because it is the more likely scenario at the moment, these levels should be broken. So we are moving down. We're approaching the next key support levels. But overall, as I said, in the yellow count, we should get into the mid 40k region. Then we have to see. So there is not an automated, I don't know. There's not guarantee, that the price will turn around there in this still larger bullish assumption. Because if this is a fourth wave, we should still see the price go to an all-time high. But the problem is that the bulls already had 2 or 3 opportunities here to rally from this larger correction, and they didn't. And as I said to you already on the 5th of August and the week after, the dip, the correction, mini crash maybe, on the 5th of August was a warning. So the probabilities for one more high in the bull market, they have reduced. It's still what I prefer to see. And it requires, however, should we get into this region around 45.5k, it requires a first 1-2 setup to the upside. So it requires a first signal. We will have to see how the market reacts to that pivot, which is defined down here. So that's something to watch for, but we're not there yet. For now, the downside pressure remains high. Let's take a look at the shorter time frame. Before we do that, quick reminder, on the weekend, I will send out again the MCO weekly newsletter, and you can join. There's a direct link in the description. It's completely for free. Or you go to the website, go to the resources section, and you select our newsletter. Here you can register as well. The link in the description takes you here directly, and then probably tomorrow the newsletter will be sent out. It always includes a general market update. Last week we covered the NASDAQ. There's a cryptocurrency in there. There's stuff about mindset, all sorts of things. If you're interested, check it out. And now let's take a look at the smaller time frame. So here, idea is where do we come from? I just showed you. The idea is that either there is a 1-2 1-2 setup and we're breaking down more directly towards 45.5K, probably next into the low 50K region. That's the direct path, the yellow one, which, you know, is preferred. There is no reason at the moment for me to change it. Please, I always say it, please note that the structures, the micro counts, the so-called micro counts on this time frame are naturally fragile. So they might change a lot, but the market actually has been following the micro counts now really well. And it is possible that we're now starting the next move down. I mean, we are in a downtrend anyway, so we'll talk about that. Or if we now see a surge from here, then the next best option I have here is a so-called larger 1-2 setup. Not preferred at the moment, but possible. And in this scenario, the market could then try a third wave down from a little bit higher. So this would be an alternative, a bearish alternative. But at the moment, there is no reason for me to deviate from the yellow roadmap here, because the market has been following the microstructure really well. So let's zoom in. You see here that likely circle 2 finished on Wednesday. We had a 3-wave rally into our resistance area, and the market is still holding this key support down there, this key pivot, which I could actually take off the chart. The idea was yesterday that if we break below 55,350, the idea is we're going down more directly. It looks already we're doing that, because the idea was, okay, I put it onto the chart here and said, okay, if we break below that level, I'm not going to watch for another wave 2. But actually that wave 2 developed overnight. You can see it. So I posted yesterday on Twitter that here we were here, yeah. We already had 5 waves to the downside completed, and we were watching for this yellow wave 2. That developed overnight. So the idea was, if the price breaks below the 78.6 extension at 55,350, then it will become more probable that wave 3 of circle 3 is already unfolding. In this case, probabilities for wave 2 in yellow will reduce. But as I just showed you, it did actually form nicely. So I can take off this micro support region from the chart. It is still possible that we see a wider wave 2. I mean, that is possible. We're now entering a phase with really, really small degrees of wave counts. So they are less and less predictive. Intraday volatility can easily invalidate them. So just note that invalidation of an intraday count, micro count, doesn't mean the overall assumption is being invalidated. Okay, it might just be, look, the wave 3 might start from a little higher. At the moment, the key level for me is still here, 58,520, which is the Wednesday high. As long as this stays intact, the overall downside pressure remains high. Above that level, I'm going to consider a larger wave 2. That's the update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.